Dick Cheney endorses Kamala Harris, another looming government shutdown, and are Haitian immigrants eating pets in Ohio? Oh wow, I haven't seen a story about an alien trying to eat cats since Alf. Then more on this week's America Uncovered headlines. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. Let's start off with something light this week. Another edition of one of my favorite segments, Really California, Really? A man in Prunedale, California has been charged after allegedly going on a 3-hour shooting rampage and killing 81 animals, including goats, chickens, and miniature horses in their pens and cages. Okay, maybe that wasn't as light as I was hoping. Also, it's pretty bad for America that I saw a headline that involved mass shooting, 81 dead, and my first emotion was relief that it didn't involve humans for a change. Now, we can't really blame the whole state of California for the actions of one crazy person. But considering how many crazy people live in California, I think we should start keeping an eye on California Man along with Florida Man. I once visited Hollywood Boulevard and saw a guy dressed as Spider-Man pull a knife on another guy dressed like Spider-Man. Even Florida Man can't compete with whatever dark version of the Spider-Verse this is. Speaking of Florida Men, Donald Trump. Trump says he will vote for a Florida ballot initiative that would legalize marijuana for citizens over 21. On the one hand, it's kind of not surprising Trump supports this because he lives in Florida. If you've ever driven in Miami, you'd also wish that the other drivers would do literally anything to calm down. On the other hand, what is surprising about this endorsement is that it's a Republican expressing support for marijuana legalization. This would be like hearing a Democrat sided with a corporation over a union. Oh, wait. And if you need more proof we're living in some kind of bizarro mirror universe, there's this.
Dick Cheney will be voting for Kamala Harris.
Yes, according to Liz Cheney, her father thinks Trump can't be trusted with power again. And if anyone would be an expert on people who should never be trusted with power again, it's Dick Cheney. I'd say a Republican supporting Harris is shots fired, but when it involves Dick Cheney, shots fired are shots fired. So we have Dick Cheney supporting a Democrat, a Kennedy supporting a Republican, and Joe Biden putting on a Trump hat. Are some Republicans going to change their tune and start saying he's of sound mind and this was an attack on Kamala Harris, whom he secretly hates? Yep, of course they are. Some on the right now think Biden is a secret genius. What next? Is Master Splinter going to endorse Shredder for mayor of New York City? He must have taken it personally when Eric Adams appointed a rat czar. Speaking of vermin, Congress. Stop me if you've heard this one before. The government is facing a looming shutdown if Congress can't reach a spending agreement by October 1st. Oh, hey, look, Washington, D.C. is playing reruns. This is the one where both political parties blame the other, act like there won't be a deal, and a government shutdown will be catastrophic. Then, at the last minute, they pass a funding bill that doesn't solve the problem so much as kicks it down the road a bit, and then the can gets bigger and bigger every time until one day we won't be able to kick it anymore. I love this one, mostly because it makes my job easy, since I can basically just copy and paste what I said the last 47 times this has happened. And after the break, rest in peace to a legend. Welcome back. It's being reported that legendary actor James Earl Jones died at 93. But those reports are inaccurate. Jones didn't die. He just became more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Please, make this edit in the next Blu-ray release of Jedi. Speaking of dead elderly people, Andrew Cuomo, the disgraced former New York governor, publicly testified before Congress about his disastrous nursing home COVID policies that led to countless elderly deaths. Although it wasn't exactly countless, because a probe by the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic revealed Cuomo's aides knew his policies were a great debacle and helped him in editing reports to undercount the amount of elderly deaths. So it turns out this graphic I've been using for the past 4 years has been inaccurate, and it should be an even bigger Nana graveyard. So it seems there's now proof for what we've known all along. The real question is, are they going to hold Cuomo responsible? It's worth remembering that Cuomo didn't leave office in disgrace over getting people killed. Kamala Harris, a month and a half after beginning her bid for president, finally has a policy platform. She put this out the day before the presidential debate. And while I respect procrastinating to the last possible minute, at this point, I think it would have been hilarious if she had just kept her platform a secret the entire time. She'd be like the white airhead mystery flavor of politicians. Although I guess no one would call Kamala a white mystery. So what's in her platform? Let's take a look. As soon as I can get through these ads begging for campaign donations. Get out of here. A large part of her platform is about bringing down costs and helping those suffering from financial insecurity. So she's aggressively asking for campaign donations from a target demographic that doesn't have a lot of money? Several sections of the platform page are devoted to Donald Trump and how spooky Project 2025 is, attempting to link it to Trump, even though Trump distanced himself from it on multiple occasions. As you can see, it pops up 4 times throughout her policies. So really her biggest policy and selling point, big enough to be in red in every section of her policy page, is I'm not Trump. Smart. That strategy worked out so well for Hillary Clinton in 2016. If you want to know all about Project 2025, we have covered it. Check it out in the links. And how does Trump's policy compare? Let's look at his campaign website. Another pop-up asking for donations. So the candidates from both parties are asking you to join their organization and give them money. And keep promising things will get better as long as you give them more and more money. They want you to spread the word to all your friends. That ain't politics. That's a pyramid scheme. The truth is, there is overlap between the two platforms, with a huge emphasis in both on promising to lower costs and make life a little more affordable for Americans. So just remember that wherever you are on the political spectrum, you shouldn't let politicians or mass media trick you into demonizing the other half of the country. We all want similar things, we just have different ideas for how to go about it. That said, I am disturbed to find that both platforms decline to address the single biggest issue on most Americans' minds right now. Why are these candidates ducking Chris Christie, America Uncovered's officially endorsed presidential candidate? Where was he at the debate? I thought we lived in a democracy. Springfield, Ohio, a town with a population of 58,000, has seen about 20,000 Haitian immigrants arrive since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Let me repeat that. 20,000 in a town of 58,000. This city doesn't have a little Haiti, it has a ginormous Haiti. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced he's sending troopers and $2.5 million in health care resources to assist with the situation after it came into the national spotlight. Citizens are complaining to their representatives not only about the massive drain of resources this has caused, but also the clashing cultural differences, rising crime rates, and Haitian drivers causing lots of accidents, including one last year when an immigrant crashed into a school bus, killing one child and injuring several others. And one citizen even claimed to see a Haitian immigrant behead a duck.
They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them like...
Man, I'm not sure how I feel about this gritty reboot of Duck Hunt. Though the dog might not be safe either, because rumors have spread about Haitian immigrants even killing and eating cats and other pets. Donald Trump shared this during the presidential debate.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance, who's from Ohio, shared his concern over these reports as well. The father of the child who died in the bus crash says Vance is using his son as a political tool and is demanding an apology. Several news sources are going even further and calling Vance racist, because Haitian is a race. And Republicans who shared this were accused of using slurs. Many mainstream media outlets call this story baseless. So, what's going on here? Well, looks like it's time for another edition of... Wait, is that true? As far as the abducting and eating pets thing, there's not much evidence to support it. Springfield police say they haven't received credible reports of Haitian immigrants harming pets. Many are pointing to a story last month of an Ohio woman who killed and ate her neighbor's cat in front of them as proof of this. However, there's no indication this woman is Haitian, and this happened in Canton, which is 3 hours from Springfield. So Republicans are amplifying a small part of this overall story that is inaccurate. The left-leaning media is focusing on this error exclusively, often taking the opportunity to call it racist and downplaying, if not outright ignoring, the bigger issue. This town of 58,000 has seen an influx of 20,000 new residents in about 4 years. That's insane. Also, the media isn't addressing the part about wild birds being killed, which has more evidence to support it. You can actually listen to audio of a Springfield man reporting Haitian immigrants harvesting geese in a park. So I guess this is how we learned the mainstream media hates ducks. I hope Affleck pulls their sponsorship. Meanwhile, looks like AI Trump is vying for that sweet ad money. This is the worst treatment of animals I've seen since a few minutes ago when I talked about that California man. The scariest man since Florida man. Hey, that presidential debate sure was crazy, right? Here's something that isn't up for debate. Another video of ours we know you'll love. And YouTube's algorithm knows you'll love it too. It's deeper in your brain than that worm in RFK Jr.'s. America Uncovered wouldn't exist without your support. Click that orange button to support us on Patreon. All it takes is $1 an episode, and you can set a monthly limit. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.